Ooh, yeah. What's up, YouTube? What's good? Let me close this door. You don't even know who I am, right? It's like, who is that dude? First, what up, Adam? I know that they're gonna keep coming. This is the first one. Oh God. Yep. I'm gonna remember that. Adam was the first one, yo. I think it's pretty cool though, actually. It's kind of cool, yo. It happened a couple days ago. It's so funny to see you guys' reactions. Like I can't even see your reaction, but just looking in the threads, like everybody's saying the same thing. This place I'm staying at has dope internet. Like I'm literally live streaming and I'm uploading to YouTube at the same time. It's pretty cool. What's up? Nothing. 563019. I guess I do look like a rapper. What up, Marty? What's going on? I was gonna freaking Facebook message you this morning. Oh, I'm still in South Africa. I am in South Africa. I got a story I want to tell you guys. I'm gonna wait till like more people get in the stream. Like it was like an experience I had yesterday, and it was like a mini culture shock. I was just like, whoa. It was so beautiful though. I'll tell you guys in like maybe like right around 5 minutes, but we'll just do small talk up until then. Your hair is cool. Yeah, so I did it. I got my hair did in South Africa. So what happened was, um, I was walking down the street. I kind of don't want to give away where I'm going, but I'm still in South Africa. I'm just in another place in South Africa. I just don't want to give it away, but like basically, it's it's like I was walking down the street and all these people were doing hair at this one intersection. And this dude walked up and he had this like long needle, right? And he had it in his hand and I was just like, what the fuck, you know? He's like, I do your hair for you. Because I was wearing a hat, you know? I was wearing a hat like all the time just because my hair, I don't do anything to my hair. So I was like, yeah, how much? And he said 150 Rand. 150 Rand is like, I don't know, I'll do the math really fast so I can get an accurate number. 150 Rand to US dollar. No, that is not right at all. Let's see. Let me figure it out. I'm just getting all distracted here. But cool, I'm letting people join the stream. So 150 Rand is like $10, right? So I was like, yeah, cool. So like 4 hours later, my hair looks like this. That's pretty much what happened. Excellent quality. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this place has really dope internet. The guy from Good Burger. I'm still in South Africa. The price was like I ended up giving him like 320 Rand. No, it's like 340 Rand I gave him. So that's like $23. But he worked on my hair for like 4 hours, you know? So that, I mean, come on, that's in the US that would cost way more. For sure. Can you guys hear me good? Oh, so I'm still in South Africa. Can they fall out accidentally? I don't know. It was really windy yesterday, and I just keep feeling my hair like blowing, and that didn't fall out. Okay, so we're at that 5 minute mark. So what I was gonna talk about was this. So yesterday, because the video is it's African experiences, right? So yesterday, I just like flew to another place in South Africa, and I arrived yesterday. Took an Uber from the airport, and when I was looking at places to stay, the city center wasn't popular at all. It was this other place that was actually closer to the airport that was much, much popular. But I didn't want to stay there. I wanted to stay in the city center. So I came to the city center, and you don't see any tourists like anywhere. Like if you do, it's like random. But it's mainly like local people. So when I got out the Uber and walked into the place, I just like, left my bag and like I went walking around. And yo, I'm just walking. I'm like, this is my first time ever going to a city like this, like traveling. But literally, it was like completely local. Like I didn't see like any other like foreign tourists. Like if there were tourists, there were probably like other African tourists. But I'm just like, yo, this is sick, And I hear all these stories that this place that I'm in is like really dangerous. It's very, scary. And I'm just walking down the street like if I feel like I'm in a dangerous place or I feel like it's sketchy, like I'm gonna detect that. But here, I'm just like, no, this is like totally chill. So I go down to the beach and yo, it was freaking epic. It was so epic because there's like this huge beach, like huge. You can see for like way down there and way down here. And then you look behind you and there are just buildings, like tall freaking buildings, all along the all along the beach, like more buildings than Honolulu, Hawaii, like way more buildings. I was just blown away, yo. I was just like, that's crazy, yo. You love your skin. Well, it's kind of easy here. I guess I do look hella different, right? Beaches, I told you. Take me to the beach. Well, it's not so nice right now. It's 7:30 and it's it looks like it could rain. Yeah, it looks like it could rain. You looks black. That's funny. What's up with these friend requests? Representing Cali. I hear y'all got a lot of fires in California, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. Thanks. Trying to figure out who this is. No, I was thinking about that, Marty. I'm probably gonna have to get a bigger helmet. Cause see, right now it's not really laying down because I just got it done, so I'm just letting it do its thing. But after a couple days, it'll just lay down. You know, Jermaine, miss your chance to vote. Oh, it's okay. Jermaine, you look so good. Much love from Germany. Enjoy your travels. That's what's up, Germany. I've been meeting so many Germans down here. Oh, and except for Smokey, yeah, that's like everybody's posting these Instagram photos of San Francisco, and it just looks like like the sun's rising and it's just smoke. Welcome home, brother. Africa is home for sure. Bob Marley shirt. I got some Bob Marley pants actually. California is done. You know what I wonder? I was wondering, will people stop moving there now? Because the past couple years, it's just been fires like non-stop. So I wonder, will people get smart and say, look, I don't want to live in California. It might burn down. And if people stop moving to California, maybe it will become cheaper. Yo, give your homeboy Jermaine a thumbs up right now. Right now, if you want to see another live stream. Meeting any Zimbabweans, ultra ones, digging the dreads. A big earthquake is next. Unfortunately, a big earthquake would be really bad, but who knows? And then Donald Trump will cut California off and say no funding. I mean, California donates more in federal money than California receives in federal money. So look at that. Like, we are the leader state for America. I mean, so much innovation happens in California that represents the whole country, you know? Arizona is the place to go. You know, I actually do want to take a U.S. road trip where, like, I just drive across the U.S. for like a month and stop in different places. And I could also take the skateboard. I could do that. That would be really cool. Jermaine, what? Big up from Jamaica. I enjoy these African vlogs. Yes. You know, guys, I'm actually thinking about just staying till like Christmas and just keep making vlogs here in Africa, because not only are they a lot of fun, it's just a completely different experience than what I've had in the past. Like, Africa is just such a different place. It, and it's full of surprises. Like, it is full of surprises and wows. You will be like, whoa, like all day. Like, I'm just like, wow. Like, it will wow you constantly, because at least where I'm from, the picture that was painted it's nothing like this. And once you're here and you see it for yourself, you're just like, wow. I mean, so much, yo. Like, I really don't want to leave, honestly. I really don't want to leave, because it's just so, like, I mean, people are so, like, cool, man. Like, they are. Like, people are hella cool, and don't get me wrong. Everybody is not, like, everybody's not cool, but it's the same way back in the U.S. Like, everybody's not cool back in the U.S. You're gonna run into people that don't like you. You're gonna run into people who are cool, you know? You're gonna run into jerks. It's the same way here. But, you know, I'll tell you, I'm gonna be honest, like, 100% with you guys. This is my reason why they don't want Americans in the U.S. to travel abroad, and why so few Americans travel abroad. If more black people would come to Africa, I promise you, I freaking promise you, a lot of people would not go back to America. I'm telling you right now. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. But I'm telling you right now, yo. Like, just have traveled around the U.S. and meet different types of black people, and knowing what they like, knowing what we all like. If a lot of black people from the U.S. came to Africa, they would not go back, yo. Like, the lifestyle is so different. Like, it's so relaxed, yo. And the reason why they don't want Americans to travel is because if black people actually figure that out, there's gonna be a lot of them leaving the U.S., and that would actually hurt the U.S. because what do black people do? They fucking spend money constantly. They constantly spend money, and that's like a great, that's a great business for people who own corporations, which are usually not black people. It's really good news, and that's why I'm telling you that this is why like traveling is not that big in the U.S., yo, because they got to keep you here. If people figure it out, they're gonna go. They're gonna say, "Whoa, it's better." And another thing that's fucked up about the U.S. is continually. Most people in the U.S. think that China is a third world country. I haven't been to China, guys, but most people think in the U.S. think that China is a third world country. Every place I go to, the Chinese are there, and they are loaded, yo. They are loaded. And unlike Americans and Europeans, when we go places, like okay, for example, when American or a European come to Africa, they want to start a business, right? And usually they start successful businesses. But what do? They actually sort of, the Americans and the Europeans, we sort of take from the local economy. What I mean by that is we don't really have a lot to offer, unlike the Chinese. The Chinese can come here with all their goods, all their cheap stuff, and now they actually have something to offer. The Americans and the Europeans don't. So that's just something to think about. Like, how much longer will the West be in a position of power? It may not be that much longer. And that man, black people, yo, you need to freaking like get to the continent. Like people have been telling me for so long that like I need to come here. And then once I get here, I'm just like, I mean, look at me. I get my hair all changed up, you know. Thanks for the super chat, Mr. Bill, the black. Yo, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's talk about how expensive it is. Oh, thanks, Brian. Let's talk about how expensive it is because this is something that is. This one actually had me twisted and confused for a very long time. I had this envision that Africa was just really expensive. In a place like South Africa, that's simply not the case. It's simply not the case. I would say it's practically on par with Bangkok, Thailand. Well, on par with Thailand because like I flew into Cape Town and Cape Town is like the happening spot. It's like the place where all the tourists go. It's the place where everyone wants to be. And I'm comparing it to San Francisco. It wasn't that expensive, you know? Like it was very inexpensive. Ubers were really cheap. Hotels, hostels were cheap. Gosh, alcohol was cheap. There was a bar, well, a lot of bars were selling Jack Daniels for $2 a shot. Like that's pretty freaking cheap if you ask me. That's cheaper than what you would find in the US, yo. So, and Jack Daniels comes from the US. So, basically what I'm saying is things are a lot cheaper here, like way cheaper than I imagined. Another thing I want to point out, this is an observation I've had since I've done so much traveling around the world this year. Since I flew to this region of the world, the southern region tip of Africa, believe it or not, I've only talked to one other American in, I want to say, the past like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I've only talked to one other American. Now, the thing that I find that's very unique and interesting about this is everywhere I go in the world, there's Americans everywhere. Like I typically meet Americans like everywhere, like every other country, like even in like random little small countries like Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. There's Americans everywhere, right? Here, I just don't really see any. Like for real, like any. And once again, I think that's the picture that's been painted. Like Africa is this dangerous place. Like Africa is like scary. And I feel that like people just don't even come. And like I said, I didn't say it was safe, but I don't think it's as dangerous as people say it is. What up, Alex? Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be traveling to other parts of Africa soon. I mean, look at America right now. You go to a bar and people are shooting. And then now you got whole towns catching on fire. Like I'm telling you, it's dangerous everywhere. You know, what's up with Israel cheating? We went our separate ways. We went our separate ways. And honestly, I really like the girl from Switzerland, like a lot, like a whole lot. Like she's like really the only girl I've really liked that much since I broke up with my ex girlfriend. Like I like her a whole lot. We like chat like all day, like all day. We're always like messaging each other and sending photos, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back to Windhoek before I leave my African adventure. What time is it here? It is 7:47. No, so these are extensions, by the way. You know, my hair is not that long. No, the Squish Girl and I, we're not a couple or anything. I would love that though. I would freaking love that, yo. I think that would be so cool. Did you buy any cool things in Africa? You know, I bought a lot of pans, like a lot of African pans. Will you make a how to backpack vlog, like a real deaf version? Okay, so let's talk about this. Because I saw someone wrote this. I don't, maybe it was you, but someone wrote this in a comment on the video. Give me some examples of some things you would want me to include in that video. Because I was thinking about that the other day. Um, like, what would I put in there? But now, since you're in this live stream, you should, like, give me some ideas. Because I'll actually make that video. Any bad things about Africa? I'm gonna move, actually. I hear a lot of noise. Okay, any bad things about Africa? Well, yeah, you're right. Not everything is all good and dandy. Um, Thanks for fuel. I'm down with Maven Gig. Oh, that's cool. Bad things about Africa. Hey, are you driving an electric car, or are you driving the? What kind of car are you driving? Oh, you're from Zimbabwe and been living in the UK. So I'm gonna have to get some shots. I think I'm gonna get yellow fever shot. So that means I'll stay here. Sorry. Wow, this stream is deep right now. No electric, just gas. Oh, okay, I see. Because sometimes gas is faster, y'all. Because you don't have to stop and charge. But electric is fun to drive because you got like insane amount of torque. Yeah, I will keep this though. Where to find a list of countries to go without a visa and how to get a visa as you are traveling from country to country. That's actually something really, that's a really good point. Because I can go over some of that right now, but that's something I could definitely include in the video. Because one thing that's very important to note is some countries, you, some countries it's best to get your visa in your own country. So going to the embassy within the U.S. Now, going to an embassy outside the U.S., you can do it for some countries, but some countries won't allow you. For example, like China. If I want to get a visa for China, I have to do it at a Chinese embassy inside the U.S. But if I'm in India and I'm like, oh, I want to go to China next as a U.S. citizen, I don't if I don't think I can go to the Chinese embassy in India just because that's not my native country. But that it doesn't work like that for every country. And believe it or not, with the U.S. passport, we can go to like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 160 countries with that visa free. Now, I think the EU recognizes 193 countries. So it's not that many countries that we just can't go to, you know? And pretty much we can go like anywhere in the world, but there are certain preparations for certain countries, you know? What kind of job can a U.S. citizen get there? So, as a U.S. citizen, you probably would not want to get a job. You would probably want to maybe start a business or be your own boss or some sort, or work in the tourist industry, or you would want to do something along those lines. You wouldn't want to just, because the jobs are going to pay a lot different, like a whole lot different. Like I think people make like, if I'm not mistaken, people make like 20 rand an hour, like at a restaurant, and $1 is 14 rand. So Tel Aviv should be on this list. Oh, what list you talking about? The list of countries that I could definitely use Israel as an example, because Israel is, believe it or not, is an extreme example, because most countries don't do what they do, but then Israel kind of do it because is your travel sponsored? It's actually not. Like I actually pay for it all myself, which is kind of getting expensive. Like this year, I'm gonna calculate and see how much money I spent on flights, but I'm pretty sure it's well over $5,000. But check this out. Think about this. If I wouldn't have spent $5,000 on flights, I probably would have spent $5,000 on gasoline. You know. So what's the difference? Thanks for sharing, Jada vlogs. Oh yeah, I love. That's why I came here, was to make vlogs, was to upload to YouTube, to get more people to travel. iPhone XR. Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna hold off on the iPhones. Yeah. What's what is going through customs like? Oh, that's a good one, because going through customs is very different in different places. It's very different, y'all. How come you don't visit West Africa? Okay, the thing is, that's a good question. Why don't I visit West Africa? Okay, Nigeria is, I want to go to Nigeria really bad. It's very high on the travel list. The reason why I'm not in West African countries is because, once again, I'm doing this on cost. And I just told you guys I'm literally paying for this like all myself. But I'm doing this on cost, and it's a little bit cheaper to explore this region. This is one of like the cheapest regions of Africa to explore. So I want to knock out this region first, just because it's more countries in a short amount of time, you know? West Africa, I will go to West Africa, but with West Africa, we need more shots and we need more visas. In the southern tip of Africa, you don't need shots and you don't need visas as a U.S. citizen. That's another reason why I'm here. That makes the trip a whole lot cheaper when I don't have to do the visas and the shots. Now here, since I'm in Africa, the shots are cheaper. Like a yellow fever shot I was looking at was around about $50. In San Francisco, a yellow fever shot is $100. Now, a yellow fever shot for $100 in the U.S. is cheap, because I've heard of yellow fever shots being $250 and $200 and stuff like that. So to get one for $50 here in Africa is another way I'm gonna save money like later on down the line because it's good for 10 years. So yeah, West Africa I definitely go to, but I'll probably go to East Africa before I spend a lot of time in West Africa because once again, East Africa is a little bit easier to navigate around. Infrastructure is a lot more developed in East Africa, and a lot more English is spoken in East Africa. In West Africa, you have more French spoken. I mean, there is English spoken, but there is more French spoken too. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So true. America, good things. Are you getting credit card and air mile points? Ok- Okay, so interesting. I'm actually not getting any air mile points because all the flights that I'm booking are so cheap that you basically don't get points for. Now, there's a few flights that I do get points for, like when I flew United flying from San Francisco to Hong Kong, I got like points from that flight because it wasn't a budget flight. But a lot of the flights I'm flying are budget flights, and the flight's so cheap that you're not gonna really get anything, you know? You look like Lil Pimp. Do you plan on going back to SF or relocate somewhere else when you go back to the States? This is a very good question because I don't I don't know if I want to just continue living in San Francisco because I'm so incredibly lonely there. I don't even really care about the money anymore. But I love living in San Francisco, don't get me wrong. It's a dope place to live. How did you grow those? Oh, they're extensions if you guys are new to the stream. Thanks a lot for these super chats, yo. It's definitely, it can help fund the adventure because usually when I get paid on YouTube on the 21st, and it's always a good day, you know? It's like, yay! You know, you go to the ATM, you withdraw cash. It's like, yay, I can keep living. I can keep uploading videos. Drag. What is that on your head? They're actually, it's like the real deal. It's not a wig. It's all hanging out in the front a lot. I gotta get used to wearing it. Bro, this is serious. This is serious. Are you gay? No, are you gay? I gotta figure it out. There we go. Now I got this one poking out. How long can I stay in Africa with 10K? You know, it really depends on how much you're moving around. If you're not moving around that much, you can stay longer. Because the part that costs the most is moving around. It's taking planes, going to the airport. Once you find a place to stay, you can easily, you know, figure out cheap places to go to and get food. You could easily figure out stuff like that. Do you take coupons? Yeah, I take coupons. By Jermaine, much travel. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep traveling, yo, for sure. Why don't you get a haircut? Because I want to do this. I will put you back. What? Oh yeah, so I'm pretty much caught up. Wow, yo. Apps, sites, fun. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm still reading your suggestions for videos, apps to find sites. So that's something else I can include. But since we're in this stream, why not? I can talk about it right now. Sites that you could use, Hostel World or Booking. Booking is actually a better deal, but for some reason I still use Hostel World more than I use Booking. Look at that hair. Have you gotten sick from local food? Local food is a lot of meat. That's what local food is. And I haven't really gotten sick because I've been eating. Like I've been going to like really nice places. Yeah, I really don't just go to the hole in the wall places because number one, they don't have vegan food, and yeah, I really haven't went to any hole in the wall places. I was looking for like an Indian restaurant around here, but couldn't find one. If you're looking for an Airbnb referral code, there is one in the description. Is this dude being mean? Oh, this dude, let's block him. Mm, oh no. How very cool. Did I just freeze? Did I just freeze y'all? That's so messed up. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Yep. Okay. We can this guy's back. Okay. So you guys can't hear me, so what I'll do is dude, they do not use the N word, do they? Um they do use the N word, but they use the N word pretty much the same way that people use it in the US. I don't just hear it like out in the open all the time, you know. They use the K word, yeah. That's what they use. That's the derogatory word. It's just such a weird face that it's paused on. Why are you always throwing up the Illuminati 666 son? Is that how you pay for travel? You guys are a trip. How safe it would be for a black solo travel in general. Mm. Okay, let's talk about that one. You know, for the most part, I I don't really see a lot of like black women traveling like I do white women. And usually, I always meet like white women that are always traveling alone. And I think it would just be the exact same thing for a black woman. You know, I think it would just be just as easy. Or I see a lot of Asians traveling alone, like Asian women. But yeah, for black women, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I'm not gonna lie, like I really don't meet that many um, black women outside the U.S. I mean, a few. I'm talking about black women from the U.S. Like meeting them outside of the U.S. But also look at but in general, I don't meet that many black people traveling from outside the U.S. because I mean, look at the ratio. It's not that many black people. It's only like 14% or something. Ooh, travel insurance. I can definitely talk about that too. Yeah, the screen is still frozen. Black women left to go to Vegas and get the frick on. I think all women like to go to Vegas to get that frick on. You want to meet black women, come to Oakland. Happy to see you traveling, dude. Yeah, that's true. Not a lot of black people own passports for sure. 'Cause I'm just thinking of people in my family, and I don't really know anybody with a passport. I mean, I got a couple cousins that's got passports, but I don't really know anybody else. Hey, so another thing about Africa I can talk about is, so people want to know like, is it all like nice and like everything's fun and it's all perfect? And no, it's not. It's not perfect at all. So one problem that I do run into. Oh no, actually I don't even go out at night. Um, Not in this town. But one thing I have noticed is the way people kind of treat you. Okay, so for example, and then also the way people look at you. So for example, I've been told a couple times now, a couple times that like people will think that I'm from here, but then I moved away and I came back and I'm trying to act different. So I kind of noticed that. I noticed that a lot. And what I'm trying to say is, I think if a lot of black people came from the U.S. here, you might experience it just because we're just different. We have different cultures. Like we come from a different country, you know. So you as a black person, like you're gonna be different, and like people can kind of like point that out and notice it, and they might go to. I mean, they might kind of give you this dirty look and think that you 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 are African, but you're trying to act different and you're trying to act better than them. But it's actually you're not trying to act better than them. You're just acting the way you are, and you're not from there. You know, because a lot of people, like literally every time I meet someone, I always ask them, "Where do you think I'm from?" Hey, where do you think I'm from? And they always say another country in Africa. They never say the U.S., yo. They never say it. And then whenever I say I'm from the U.S., it's like, oh, it's totally cool when I say I'm from the U.S. And then they're like, were your parents born in the U.S.? And I'm like, yeah. My grandparents were too. And then they're just like, oh, really? Oh, really? So that's just one thing to point out, to throw out there that, oh, thanks, Jonathan, again for the super chat. When am I gonna do more Uber videos? No, I don't think I'm gonna be doing any more Uber videos for a while. My Uber videos don't get a lot of attention anymore. The travel videos make way more attention. Or another thing that can happen is people will just think like um like I'm some trust fund or I'm some diplomat's kid, you know, and I'm trying to act different. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get some real crazy ass looks. I be like, God damn, like for real. But most of the time it's not like that though. Like most of the time it's not like that at all. And another thing I do notice is when I walk around and wear African pants, yo, people be like, "Where you get them from? Them joints fresh." Can you guys still hear? Oh, that's good. You guys can still hear. I mean, I wish their screen wasn't frozen. I just don't want to end the stream and then start it back. Oh, advice for a vlogger. Um, I would just say, just start. I mean, just do a lifestyle vlog and it'll just change up. That's what I would say. I am eating, these are some cashews. Where are they from? It doesn't say where they're from. Oh, they're from Tanzania. That's probably why they were $3. It's like the same price it would be in America. Would you say Africa and live better after your experiences? I don't know. I love it here. Like, for real. Like, I love it here a lot. I could easily, like, live here forever. But it's different when you gotta get a job and all that. Or you gotta work, you know? I'm just traveling right now, so I'm just making videos and it's pretty simple, but you know what, I wanna get like something like a new computer and it costs way more because it's in South Africa versus the US. You know, things get real over time. When you go to a place for a couple of weeks, of course you're gonna like it. But then could you really live there? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. I think I could probably live somewhere on the continent for sure. How long will $1,000 last you if you lived there? Maybe like 3 months. Like literally, like 3 months because if you live like a local, you won't be paying that much on you know, bills. It really depends on where you live, you know. Probably like maybe a month and a half to 3 months. You can live off $1,000. But not how I live because me, I like to go to the tourist restaurant. You know, I like to drink beer. You know, I eat vegan, so I can't just be eating no random food off the street. You know, I probably need like 1,000 every month at least. But that's just me. I don't think everybody get down like that. How do you stay healthy when traveling? Okay, so is one thing I can do is when I say when I'm traveling is when I'm back in the U.S. I typically eat way more food, and I typically eat a lot of like more salty foods. When I'm back in the U.S., I typically smoke way more. So when I leave, sometimes I don't smoke at all, or I smoke very little. When it comes to food, I want to say I eat healthier when I'm traveling. South Africa does have Uber, and Uber's awesome. Are you planning? So I already went on Table Mountain. That was yesterday's video. And then I hiked Lionheads too, Lionhead Mountain. Any gig economy there? Yeah, there is the gig economy. It's I think they have Uber Eats if I'm not mistaken. You can make money from YouTube in Africa. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just traveling around. That's what I'm gonna do for the maybe a month and a half is just continue traveling around the continent and making YouTube videos and showing people, yo, this is Africa, man. You know, I was born in South Africa, stunning country. You should explore the entire country. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm gonna go to Lesotho and then head over to Swaziland. And then from Swaziland, we'll probably go over to Mozambique. Then from Mozambique, Madagascar is probably not gonna be on the list because it's kind of dangerous. Um, and if you want to do it properly, you should go with a tour guide. And the prices are for the tour guides can be kind of expensive. And you probably will need shots for Madagascar too. Does your Uber driver app work in Africa? So it does work, but when I try to click on go online, it says not able to operate in this area or something like that. But the regular Uber app, like the passenger app, works just fine, like just normal. Was to overcome language barriers and how to know if you're being scammed. Okay, so about the language barriers, for the most part, in most countries, I don't really have the language barrier problem. Um, let's use Italy for an example. Now, in Italy, a lot of people just don't speak English. Like, once you get outside of the big cities, people just don't. Like, they just speak Italian and that's it. So, what makes it kind of, that can kind of be a little difficult at times. But then you use apps like the Google Translator when you're ordering food and stuff like that. Younger people in Italy know English more because they're on the internet more and they probably watch videos and stuff. And younger people want to travel. So if you want to travel and you're from Italy, you got to know English because nobody speaks Italian outside of Italy. I mean, literally, like it's not like a popular language. Like I don't know anybody in school that's like, oh, I'm gonna learn Italian. Like it's just one of those languages that's not that popular outside of Italy. Please fix video. I don't know how to fix the video. I would have to. Let me see. So if I would have to stop the stream. I kind of don't want to stop the stream because I want to stream for like 60 minutes and then take off. Or you're on day 2. Okay, and how to know if you're being scammed. So the thing about being scammed is that can have a being scammed can have a very very um it can have a very that it can vary by a lot. Being scammed to some people would be paying more for a taxi than someone else. Like like okay, for example, we stay at the same hostel, right? And we meet, and you tell me that oh, I paid 400 baht to take the taxi, right? And then I tell you, oh, I paid 100, I paid 200 baht to take the taxi. And then you say, oh man, I feel like I was scammed. Well, you wasn't exactly scammed, but like you just paid more, and you're okay with paying more. If you wasn't okay with paying more, you should have said, look, 300 or 200, you should have negotiated. So that's like one way, that's like the most common way to get scammed. And I don't really call that being scammed, but paying more for things. But that's just gonna happen. If somebody can get more from another person, they're gonna try to get more from another person. So the girls be interested in the whiteness. Um, it's kind of interesting that you say that because that's one thing I do notice a lot here. Just like you see in Asia, you see a lot of like white guys going to Asia and meeting like chicks. You definitely see that in Africa too. You definitely see like white dudes with like hot chicks like constantly. Um, yeah, that is definitely a thing. And you also just see like in certain parts you see a lot of interracial, and it's mainly like Europeans meeting Africans, and it's both. It's like men and women, so it's like very very equal. I mean, honestly, like I'm just gonna say something. This is what I figured out about this region of the world, like as the type of black person that I am. I figured out, yo, this is actually a really cool place to meet super cool white girls because they're already in South Africa. They're already in like a predominantly black country. So they're already looking for chocolate, you know? And then when they meet somebody like me with like a passport and like I travel all the time, it's just like, oh, really? That's super cool, yo. Sorry I had to say that, but I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, yeah, that's why I like it down here so much. Girls love me, yo. Why is Madagascar dangerous? Oh, thanks for the super chat, Mac363. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Wow, that took me a while to give you a shout out. Avoid getting shots is bad for your health. I've always was told that the shots can be bad for your health. Why is Madagascar dangerous? I don't exactly know why Madagascar is dangerous. Like it is an island, so things it costs more to get things to Madagascar because it probably comes from South Africa somewhere, and Madagascar is just it's like a jungle. It's very the roads are like crazy to get around. Like it's just best to take flights if you're going from the main city to the beach. Like it's just a very different place. I'll go, but it definitely won't be on this trip. How long does it take the mop? It took a while. Is there extensions, guys? How safe is it there for a U.S. traveler? So how safe is it for a U.S. traveler? Oh, you mean in Africa? I would say it's pretty safe. I mean like, but I'm also not doing stupid shit. Like I'm not like walking around at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Like I'm like in asleep in bed, with other people, that sort of thing. Or for Bitcoin mining, I think you'd probably want to go to Iceland because they use like geothermal energy. So I think that's the cheapest energy in the world. Yeah, I know. My dude, my reaction just all day has just been off the chain. Like, yeah, I just having so much fun here. So negotiate is that the standard? Negotiations are really big thing. When are you applying for citizenship? No, I'm not gonna apply for citizenship. I'm not gonna apply because if I really want to stay here long enough, I know for sure I'll get bored if I stay in one area. But if I really want to stay here long enough, what I would do is do 3 months here, 3 months somewhere else, 3 months somewhere else, and 3 months somewhere else, and that's how I would do it. There is a YouTuber named Traveling Sister who is in Tanzania. She explains details on her shots and opinions. I'm gonna actually look for her right now. Her name is Traveling Sister. Yeah, that's definitely a black YouTuber. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check her out. Wow, she's all about that Tanzanian life. Did she like immigrate there or something? You find tasty vegan food yet? Portions X. Okay, the vegan food here is just hit or miss. In Cape Town, it was amazing. This other place I'm in, not as many options. Afro-American African. I'll check him out too. Look at me, I'm just adding all these YouTubers from y'all. That is some long ass name, yo. Okay. I'm actually already subscribed to her, believe it or not. What is your favorite food there? My favorite food here is, I don't know my favorite food here. It's probably gonna be some freaking American food. Who did your hair for how much? So it was like $10, but I ended up giving him like $23, basically. And it took her like 4 or 5 hours. Can you ride your electric skateboard? I didn't bring it. She lives in Tanzania and married Tanzanian just recently. She met someone and had a baby. They're getting married next month. Everybody's moving to Africa, right? Oh, so the black girl that moved from the U.S. to Namibia, I actually saw her videos. Yeah, I saw her videos a while ago. But I bet now when you type in Namibia, I bet my videos are like somewhere. No, none of them are up here. Wow, no. So I have a video. It's like halfway down the list. Yeah, I know the video froze, so that's why there's no more picture. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna advise how to make your stay in a hospital hospital in a hospital in a hostel comfortable for Southern African American woman because I'm a bit on cleanliness. One thing I've noticed here is like everything's really clean. That's one thing I can say about South Africa, and it's something that I like. Honestly, I stay in a lot of places, and I notice that almost every place I stay in is really clean. The only time I really notice it is when I stay in a dirty place. And I haven't stayed in a dirty place in like months, yo. Like, knock on wood, but like on Hostel World, I typically stay at places with the highest reviews. And I typically stay at places, like, I'll stay at a hostel. Sometimes it may be the more expensive hostel, you know? So, in cheaper countries, I will do that. Just because I still want to meet backpackers, but I don't necessarily want to stay in a hotel because staying in a hotel is just hard to meet. It's hard to meet people because you're in a hotel. And hostel is just more a backpacker experience. Are you gonna get around around on donkey? No, I'm not gonna take any donkeys today. Oh wow, look at those homicide rates. That look pretty bad. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna end this stream, guys. I'm gonna get ready to get off here because the free breakfast ends at in 30 minutes, and I just really want some tea, and I also just want some they got like a little toast sandwich and put some peanut butter on that bad boy, and that'll be my breakfast right now. But yeah, rest well. No, you guys rest well because it's nighttime in California as it burns down, and yeah, it's nighttime. It's what 10:30. Right here it is 8:30, so it's super early. Thanks, I'm an inspiration. I love hearing that. I hear that quite often, but I love it. I want to keep inspiring people because life is good, and yeah, I should go eat. Oh man, I wish I could meet you in San Francisco. You're gonna be there next Tuesday. Well, I'm still in Africa, 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 Africa. But anyway, I'm out. Okay, I will see you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Like.